Thank you for clicking Dr. Samurai Minute Lecture. In this video, I would like to discuss how I learned English in 1 month. My name is Dr. Samurai. I'm a professor specialized in international social pathology. How I learned English in 1 month. English is clearly a lingua franca today, which makes it possible for everyone to communicate with people world over. However, to some people, especially whose native language is not of European origin, it is very hard to learn English. Reading and writing is no problem because you can spend as much time as you want. However, listening and speaking in communication, especially with native English speaker, you must be able to keep up with the speed. And here is how. If you like this kind of discussion, please click that green and yellow Good Luck Charm logo. Regarding listening comprehension, the most important key is never pay attention to the language itself. Especially those of you who learned English as a foreign language. You first learned reading and writing. However, what comes first in communication is listening and then speaking and reading and writing. Babies always start with listening to their mothers. Then, after the silence period, they just start copying phrases and words they frequently hear from mother. So, the very basis of English communication is listening and speaking, and reading and writing are just a secondary measure to keep the oral information. And I am telling you, if you want to keep up with what native English speakers are speaking in their natural speed, don't ever pay attention to their input. Just be there and grasp the whole situation. You pay attention to the person's facial expressions, gestures, and situation. You can tell either the person is positive or negative, or when the person is answering what you told him or her, you can tell whether the person's response is yes or no. You just be there. Isn't that what you are doing when you communicate in your native language? And if you want to still pay attention to something, just try to pick one word. That's it. You catch the most important one word, you can tell the direction of the communication. The same thing about speaking. Say the other party said something. You want to answer what the person said. If you start thinking about sentence structure, grammar, and so on, it kills the tempo of natural communication, which also kills the native English speaker's willingness to communicate with you. Thinking, this person is retard. Sorry about strong language, but that's what they feel about you. I remember 2 situations when I started learning English and I got on the bus and the bus driver was saying something. And at the time I had wrong way to communicate, which I learned from reading and writing. So I was just trying to keep all the input which the driver was uttering. So I asked him, "Excuse me?" And he repeated what he said. And when I said, "Excuse me," one more time, he just ignored me and started to drive it. I tell you one other episode. When I was in the doctoral course, by the time I already mastered English pretty well. And, in American classroom, students always discuss with each other, mostly native English speakers. And at the time, I think I was the only Japanese student who knew how to communicate naturally. But the other Japanese guy, I guess he was feeling envious to me, who was communicating naturally with native English-speaking students. So he also jumped in. However, whenever he spoke complete English sentence with the subject, verb, object, and so on, which we never do when we speak native language. And that slowed down the speed of natural communication, and that everybody's passion for the heated discussion died down because of that stupid Japanese student. I'm sorry about the strong language, but that's what everybody there felt honestly. So, if you do not want to kill the natural speed of communication with native English speakers, you just answer by one word, which is the most important signal of expressing your intention. That will do if that one word you speak is truly meaningful. Remember, native English speakers are not interested in how well you can speak English. What they are interested in is your opinion, your own opinion, different from theirs. As long as what you have to say is interesting to them, they want to stay with you and they want to communicate with you. It is not your language skill, but your own ideas that keep others in communication with you. And please remember, one-word communication is the key to survive when you speak with native English speakers. Trust me on this, because I used to be an ESL teacher at junior college and university. I know exactly what you need at each level because I went through all that myself. I hope this advice helps you. Although my English is not gonna be perfect forever, I know I can survive with my English level. Thank you very much for watching, wherever you are, my friend, on this very small planet Earth during this very, very short period of time we share together. Okay? You have a wonderful day.